Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. I hope you all are fine. If you like my video, please subscribe and share. Today I will talk about the most important topic that I have learned in my MA special education, disability. What is disability? Disability is any restriction or lack resulting from an impairment or perform an activity in the manner or within the range considered normal for a human being. Defined by WHO 1976. Disability is an umbrella term covering impairment, activity limitation, participation restriction, lack of performance, lack of doing something, like cannot move, like if a person has cerebral palsy or has motor disorder, he cannot move from one place to another place, it is called impairment. Activity limitation here means that if a child cannot move from one place to another, it means he is dependent on other. If someone ear is not working properly, he is unable to listen the voices, or he has problem, he is low in activity and he has activity limitation. If someone cannot see, he is blind, it is his activity limitation. Participation restrictions, if someone is hearing using hearing aid, or someone using glasses or other equipment for the performance, so it means that he has the participation restrictions. We have special children, we have such a special children, we call them special because they are special. And I remember the poem that my Down syndrome student and sing, I am special, I am special, look at me, look at me, you will see someone very special because it's me, because it's me. uh, these people are different, we cannot them disability, it is the defined old definition by WHO. Now we should say, we are saying that these are the differently able people. they are they have some potential, they have the if someone is poor in one aspect, like if he is poor on reading, he may be good at oral. If someone is handwriting is good, he may be poor on oral. There is a strength inside the child, there is a lot of strength inside the child. You have to dig out the strength, you have to find out the strength. Like later on I will tell you the detail of IEP, individualized educational plan. We special educator or people with that are working with these special needs students, we are making IEPs, individualized education plan. It is totally different. It is for our curriculum is different, and each and every child has different IEP, and we made IEP on the strength and weaknesses of the child. Firstly, we should know the strength of the child. What are the strength and what are the weakness? By if we know the strength, we will overcome the disability, or we will use that strength, and we will make the child uh, a better man of the society. So in we make IEP, individualized educational plan, for the students. And if and every child has different IEP. I am and the main thing in ADL, I am making the same goal, because in ADL, in group activity, students are performing very well, and they perform they good they are doing best in the ideal in the group activity like brushing teeth, combing hair, buttoning, unbuttoning, lacing. These activities are same, but the method and strategy may be different from one child to another child. Now, physical examination. Dull appearance can be misleading. You cannot perceive a person by physical appearance. A high arched palate, the size of thyroid gland. Demographics may offer another diagnostic tool because uncommon ridge pattern and flexation and crease on the hand are often found in the person who are retarded. Assessment or abdominal examination feeling for enlarged liver or spleen with may suggest glioblastoma, Hurler's disease, Gaucher disease. So, physical exam on the basis of physical examination, we can diagnose. Differential diagnosis. What is differential diagnosis? Early infantile autism, attention deficit hyperactivity. Differential diagnosis because in the child there is a comorbidity. It may be a child is down at time he is autistic. I have seen a student with Down and ADHD. So, child with hearing impairment, cultural deprivation and lack of stimulation, specific learning disabilities, childhood psychosis, child with visual handicap. These are the different diagnoses. And children under the age of 18 years who meet the diagnostic criteria for dementia and who have an IQ below 70 are given diagnosis of dementia and intellectual disability. Those who IQ drops below 70 after the age of 18 years, 8 years who have new onset of cognitive disorders are not given diagnosis of intellectual disability but only diagnosis of dementia. Now we will talk about clinical elements of clinical evaluation of patient with intellectual disability, mental retardation. Clinical history. We should know the clinical history of the child. Family pedigree, 3 generation that ever in the family there is a disability ratio or not. Psychiatric interview, there would be a history of psychiatric interview. Physical examination, neurological examination, laboratory examination, neuroimaging, psychological assessment. Neuroimaging like MRI, magnetic resonance imagery, and uh, these are the tools or these are the key points or elements for the client evaluation. Like if we have a doubt or assessment for the child, we should move on these elements: clinical history, family history, and we have to, and there are different performers or there are different questionnaires or questionnaires for these all tools. For psychological assessment, we have different tests, psychological tests, THE cards, and different things for the evaluation. And for neuroimaging, we have the different tests like MRI, magnetic resonance imagery, CT, chromatography test, CT scan of the brain. And physical examination. For physical examination, we have also the different tests, and for psychiatric interview, we have also the questionnaire. Uh, uh, questionnaire having different questions, and for family history, we have also the performer to find out the family history. These elements are very important for the uh, client assessment, and each and every pillar is each and every element is connected with other, and we have to know these elements, or we have to find out these results. These findings are very important for the child, for the intellectual disabled child. for the intellectual disability. These are the elements for the clinical evaluation. So later on I will talk about the grading of intellectual disability. Mild intellectual disability, if we say someone is mild intellectual, his IQ must be before in the range of 50 to 55 to 70. This is the range for the patient or for the child and mild intellectual disability. And we find out the IQ on the basis of test. We have different tests for the IQ measurement. Then number two is moderate intellectual disability. For moderate intellectual disability, child must have the IQ of 35 to 40 or 50 to 55. Then we talk about severe intellectual disability. For the severe intellect, we can say a child severe intellectual disability if his IQ is 20 to 25 or 35 to 40. Profound intellectual disability IQ below 20 to 25. Intellectual disability severity. These are the different degrees or grading of intellectual disability. Intellectual disability severity unspecified when there is a strong presumption of intellectual disability, but the person intelligence is untestable by the standard test. Now we will talk about the important thing, that is treatment. Treatment, if the child is intellectual disabled, is we find out the element of clinical history, evaluation, all things. Then we will talk about the treatment, that is most important key. And I am also dealing with this part, treatment. Biological, psychological, social and developmental dimensions should all be considered when designing our treatment plan for an individual with intellectual disability. And these are the terms like biological, psychological, social and developmental. These are the main terms, and these have a lot of things to cover. Biological, then psychological. Biological, like I have a student with open heart surgery. It's biological, and I have to while making IEP, individualized educational plan, I must there must be in my mind that this child has open heart surgery, or I have not indulge child in the more physical activities in racing. Psychological, if there is a trauma in the child life, like father is died, so I should make a IEP according to this. Social and developmental dimensions, social background, developmental dimensions also be considered by when designing a treatment plan for individual with intellectual disability. Treatment plan includes attention to psychoeducation, psychotherapeutic and psychopharmacological interventions, and we have to use the psychoeducational, like firstly child is come in class, we have to make rapport with the child, we have to make pairing, we have to use different strategies, a lot of strategies, a lot of activities for the child according to the level of the child. And the environment of the class is also important. We make the environment suitable for the child, so the child can be adjust in the class, or may respond or may work in a good manner. So medicine is pharmacological, psychopharmacological intervention. Like if a child is with ADHD, we should give treatment or medicine to the child. Medicine is important at time for the autistic children, for the ADHD children. So then we will take child to the normal life, and child can move, can having happy life happy life and happy classwork or happy things by involving the child in the class. In the end, I want to say, if you like, if you like my videos, please subscribe and share. Have a safe day. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz and Assalamu alaikum.